So previously we have learned what sound is and how sound is produced. That is, whenever an object vibrates, a sound is produced. So sound is nothing but vibration. Now in this video, we're going to learn about propagation of sound, which means how sound travels from one point to the other. So to explain the concept, let me take an example. Here two girls are talking to each other. So let's understand how sound travels between them. So let's say this girl over here says hello to this girl. So how will she hear a hello? See, for this girl to say hello, first she has to breathe out. As she breathes out, her vocal cords will vibrate. Now, as her vocal cords vibrate, they will vibrate the air passing. I repeat, as air passes through the vocal cords vibrate, which will vibrate the air. So the air coming out of her mouth is vibrating. Is it clear? So the sound is basically there in this air. Now guys, between her mouth and her ear, there are billions and billions of small particles which are known as molecules. Remember guys, all substances are made up of extremely small particles called molecules. So what is there between her mouth and her ear? Air is there, right? So air is also made up of molecules. So between this point and this point, there are large number of molecules. So what happens is, as the vibrations come out of her mouth, they start vibrating the molecules over here. Now these molecules will vibrate the next molecule. This molecule vibrates the next molecule. Like this, all the molecules will start vibrating and pass on the vibrations right up to here. So it is the molecules of the medium, in this case air, which are carrying the vibrations from her mouth to her ear. Is it clear? So how is sound traveling? It is traveling in the form of vibrations. And who are traveling? Who are passing these vibrations? Molecules are passing these vibrations. So the molecules will pass the vibrations right into her ear. And when these vibrations enter her ear, then there's something in her ear known as the eardrum, which we'll learn when the eardrum vibrates. That's when she hears the sound. So that is how she's able to hear her hello. And of course, this is a very fast process. So this is known as propagation of sound. I repeat, sound is nothing but a vibration. So when she says hello, it is basically a vibration over here. This vibrations coming out of her mouth will vibrate the molecules here. They will pass on these vibrations via all the other molecules to her ear, and that's how she hears. So this is the concept of propagation of sound. That means for sound to propagate, what is required? Molecules are required. Hence sound travels in solid, liquids and gases. Why? Molecules are there, but sound does not travel in vacuum. Why? Because there are no molecules. So let's first read this much. So see, sound is produced by the vibrations of an object. When an object vibrates back and forth in air, then the molecules of air close to this object also start vibrating back and forth with the same frequency. So as she's speaking, she's producing a vibration. This will vibrate the air molecules over here. These vibrating air molecules pass on their motion to the next layer of air molecules, due to which they also start vibrating back and forth. So once these molecules start vibrating, they'll pass on the vibration to the next layer, and so on. This process goes on and on. And ultimately, all the air molecules around the sound producing object start vibrating back and forth, just like the vibrating object. So as she speaks over here, the vibrations will start vibrating these air molecules, which will pass the vibration to the next layer, and so on until it reaches her ear. When the vibrating air molecules fall on our ear, the ears feels these vibrations as sound. So when the vibrations finally enter our ear, that's when we hear the sound. Thus, when an object vibrates, then the air around it also starts vibrating in exactly the same way and carries sound to our ear through the vibrations of its molecules. So remember guys, sound is basically a vibration. How is it going from one point to the other? With the help of molecules. So the molecules are carrying these vibrations from one point to the other. And we say that a sound wave travels from the sound producing object to our ears through the air. So this is how the vibrations are coming and entering our ear. So this is how sound travels. Next guys, to understand the concept of how vibrations are being carried forward, look at this picture over here. These cycles are parked one behind the other. Now let's say we kick this cycle over here. Please don't do that. Let's say you kick this cycle over here. What will happen? This cycle will fall on this cycle, because of which this will fall on the other, and so on. So though you're kicking just one cycle over here, all these cycles will fall. Even the last cycle over here will fall. So I kicked this cycle, but the effect was on the last cycle. Why? Because the vibration of my kick is traveling from here to there. Similarly, sound travels. So when I'm speaking, right, what is happening is my vocal cords are vibrating the air. Now these molecules close to my mouth start vibrating. They pass on the vibration to the next, and so on. Just like the cycle is falling on one or the other, similarly the vibrations are carried from one point to the other. So though I kick this bicycle over here, the effect was till the end. Similarly, the sound produced over here will vibrate this. So think of these bicycles as molecules or air molecules, right? So when you speak over here, you vibrate this molecule, which will vibrate the other, which will vibrate the other. Like this, all the vibrations are being carried from one point to the other. This is how sound is traveling. Is it clear? Going ahead, sound needs a medium for propagation. So like I told you, sound is a vibration. What is carrying these vibrations? Molecules are carrying these vibrations. So where are molecules found? They are found in solids, liquids and gases. Therefore, we say sound needs a medium for propagation. So see, the substance through which sound travels is called a medium. The medium can be a solid substance, a liquid or a gas. So sound travels in all three. And transmission of sound is called propagation of sound. Now, by saying that sound needs a medium for propagation, we mean that sound needs a solid, liquid or a gas for transmission. Is it clear? In other words, sound needs a material medium to travel and to be heard. Sound can travel through solid, liquid and gas, but it cannot travel through vacuum. Vacuum means nothing is there, like outer space. Is it clear? So in outer space, if you try to talk to each other, you can't directly do it. Why? There are no air molecules, so sound will not be heard. Is it clear? Let's discuss this in detail. See, in solids, molecules are very closely packed to each other. In liquids, the molecules are there, but slightly far apart. And in gases, again, molecules are there, but they're very far apart. So in all the three mediums, molecules are there. So because molecules are there, hence sound can travel. So it is these molecules which start vibrating and transmit sound. So as long as molecules are there, sound can travel. If molecules are not there, sound will not travel. So in solid, liquid and gas, molecules are there, hence sound can travel in solid, liquid or gas. But in the case of vacuum, no molecules, hence no sound. So for example, look at this simple activity. You take an electric bell and put it in a glass jar. Initially ring the bell, you can hear the sound. Next, what we do is we suck out all the air from this glass jar. Once you suck out all the air, a vacuum is created. Now, even though the bell will be ringing, no sound will be heard. Why? Because there are no air molecules over here. Hence, there's nothing to carry the sound. Is it clear? I repeat, see, a vibration is happening over here, so sound is being produced. But why can't we hear it? Because there are no molecules to carry it from here to here. Is it clear? So remember guys, for sound to be carried, molecules are important. Here, because air molecules are there, hence the sound produced over here was able to reach out here. In this case also sound is produced. See, the bell is vibrating, so sound is produced. But because there are no air molecules, hence sound is not traveling. So sound needs molecules, that is a medium, that is solid, liquid or gas, to travel. So see, sound can travel through solid, liquids and gases because molecules carry sound wave from one place to the other. This is the key point, guys. Sound cannot travel through vacuum. Why? Because vacuum has no molecules which can vibrate and carry sound waves. Very important point, guys. So a material medium like air, water, wood, etc. is necessary for the transmission of sound from the source to our ears. Remember guys, in this case also sound is being produced. Whenever an object vibrates, sound is produced. But because there is vacuum over here, means no air, hence no molecules, therefore sound is not traveling. So this is the concept of propagation of sound. So what is sound? It is basically a vibration. How does it travel from one point to the other? Basically the molecules of the medium carry the vibrations, that is the sound, from one place to the other. Hence molecules are needed for sound to travel. Molecules are there in solid, liquid and gas. So in solid, liquid and gas, sound will travel. But in case there is vacuum, that is no molecules, sound will not travel. Is it clear? So this over here is the concept of propagation of sound.